Hello everyone and welcome back to the Yogi Blair YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be about centering. And first I'm going to talk to you about what centering is and why it's an important part of our yoga practice. If you've been to a group class at a yoga studio in your local area, you may notice that you don't just walk into the classroom and immediately start doing sun salutations or a standing sequence or even a yin sequence. Pretty much any yoga class is going to start with centering. And what centering is you take a moment in Sukhasana, easy seat, or Balasana, child's pose, even Shavasana, or even standing in Tadasana, and you take 5 minutes here to just be still. And usually your teacher will bring awareness to the breath. Oftentimes throughout our day, we don't really pay much attention to our breath, so this gives us the opportunity to practice our pranayama or our breath control. A teacher might also incorporate a theme to the class that they might speak about here a little bit and then bring up again throughout class and at the end before your Shavasana. And the benefits of centering is it allows us to get in the proper headspace to fully experience what a yoga practice is. Yoga is not like any other physical exercise where it's mostly centered around the physicality. Yoga also incorporates a vast majority of our practice on our mental space. So if you walk into your yoga class 5 minutes late, you're rushing from work or you hit traffic and you just start into your yoga practice, you're not getting the full benefits of the yoga practice because you're not fully present. You're not practicing that meditation. So centering allows you to leave everything at the door, to bring awareness to the breath, to lengthen and elongate the breath, because most of us need to do that, and to get ready to just be in the present moment and calm down and continue on with your practice. So today's video, we're going to give you a centering practice that you can do before any other video that I post, because I'm not going to be doing centering at the beginning of all my videos so that you get a full 30 minutes of movement and you can do your own centering beforehand. This video might help you learn how to center yourself so you can use these skills anytime you feel anxious or worried. You can center anywhere. It's not just for yoga. So anytime you feel like you need a little bit of grounding, you can come back to the things that I'm about to tell you now. So centering can just be done on your mat. You don't need any props or anything, but if you'd like to take longer to center before doing yoga at home, you can take as long as you'd like to meditate. If you want to meditate for an hour before your class, feel free to. If you want to center for 10 minutes, if you want to center for 5 minutes, whatever you're comfortable with, that's what I recommend that you do. And there are a few options for you. You can just take whatever pose you want on your mat, whether it's easy seat like I am here. You can take a child's pose. You can recline on your back for Shavasana. Or you could even stand. If you're feeling really energized, feel free to take Tadasana and just take a few moments to meditate there. If you're in easy seat, that's what I would recommend if you're a beginner. If it's hard for you to stand still, if it's hard for you to hold maybe a child's pose for 5 minutes or more because the hips are tight, I recommend just finding an easy seat. And you can use pillows and props if you need to. When we sit to meditate, the idea is that we may want the hips to be above the knees a little bit so that our legs don't fall asleep if you're going to be centering for more than 5 minutes. So you can take a pillow, or you can even take a yoga block if you have one. And just finding a nice easy seat here. Whatever's comfortable. Just trying to get the hips above the knees. Stacking the spine nice and long. You can place the hands up on the knees if you feel like you need to receive energy. Or you can place the hands down on the knees if you feel like you need some grounding. You can also bring the hands to the lap if they're more comfortable there. Or you can find a mudra if that's in your practice. And from here, we're just going to start to settle into the seat here. And for my typical centering, it changes from time to time in my group classes, but usually what I always fall back on is first bringing our awareness to the outside world. So if you're at home, maybe noticing sounds you hear outside the window. Maybe you hear a dog barking or a car driving by. And then bringing your awareness to in the house or the building that you're in. Maybe you're in an office at work. Noticing anything you hear. Maybe the TV's on. Maybe the kids are playing in another room. And then try to allow all of that to fall away. Bringing your awareness to the room that you're in. And a lot of times in yoga classes, we have students close the eyes right away, which you're welcome to do at any time. Or perhaps it's more comfortable for you to look around the room first. Notice sights. Notice the color of the walls. Notice where the door is, the feeling of the carpet. Looking around the room, this helps especially if you have PTSD or are dealing with any sort of trauma, to sort of look around the room and center yourself here visually. And then if and when you feel ready, you can close the eyes. So we noticed what we saw in the room. Now let's notice the other senses. Notice what you hear in this room. The sound of my voice. Notice any smells. If you have candles or incense burning. Notice the feeling of your clothing on your skin and the temperature of the room. And then we want to allow all of the stimulus in the room, in the building, outside to fall away, and we want to bring our awareness inward. So we're withdrawing from the physical senses, bringing our awareness first to the physical body, or the Annamaya Kosha. Maybe doing a body scan here, starting at the crown of the head, moving your way down to the tips of the toes. And just noticing any sensation. Sometimes when we bring awareness to the body, we notice tingling, maybe at the crown of the head or in the hands. It's perfectly normal. Maybe there are places where you don't feel any sensation, and that's okay too. And I always like to tell my students to bring their awareness to any areas that might be holding tightness or injury, soreness or pain, and honoring these areas. Not judging them for not working as you think that they should, but respecting them throughout your practice. Never forcing anything. Never pushing too far into a posture. Listening to the body. Using this moment, becoming aware of the physical body and what it's telling us, so that we can listen throughout our practice. And then I want you to bring your awareness a layer deeper to the energetic body. Notice if you're tired or awake. then bringing our awareness to what provides our body with energy, the breath, the pranamaya kosha. Just noticing how you're breathing. And then maybe beginning to elongate the breath. Taking deep diaphragmatic breaths in and out of the nose. You can use this time to practice any sort of pranayama, any sort of breath control, breathing exercises. The one you hear most common in yoga classes is Ujjayi breath. Breathing in and out of the nose, constricting the back of the throat to create an audible sigh. And then bringing your awareness to the mental space, the Manamaya Kosha. Noticing what you brought with you to this moment for this class. Noticing your thoughts, your feelings, your intentions. And practicing non-attachment for the duration of your yoga practice today. Allowing thoughts to come and go like clouds in the sky. Not attaching. Not planning the future, not dwelling on the past. Using that breath throughout your practice to keep you centered in the present moment. Using that breath as your sole focus. And if you like to practice with setting an intention, whether it's a word, phrase, or mantra, it can be the same thing for every practice, or it can change depending on what you're feeling. You can set that now. Or if an intention doesn't call to you, maybe you just want to dedicate your practice to somebody. Or maybe neither of those things resonate with you, and that's okay too. And then we'll bring our hands to the earth beside us. Inhale, lifting the arms up, overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, bringing the hands to heart center. Tucking that intention away, knowing it's there whenever you need it. Allowing the breath to be your guide throughout your practice. And when you feel ready, fluttering the eyes open. So I hope you enjoyed that centering practice. You can use that before any of my videos to help get yourself grounded. The next step after centering is limbering, which we'll provide a video here in the next few days. Limbering is just a gentle way of moving before starting your sun salutations. I look forward to seeing you back here soon. Thank you. Namaste.